Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. Flying with Mike is live coming out of Rome, Italy. Hope y'all enjoy the ride. We're going to get back into a plane. We haven't flown here in a while. The 767-300 from Flight Factor. We're in X-Plane12 and really looking like a pretty interesting flight. We'll put it that way. So as we come in here, you can see it's pretty much a clear day here in Rome. Um, and of course, since we're, set up here, we don't have any online or any kind of traffic here to speak of. So, it always is kind of bare. Don't care which airport we go to. The busiest, Atlanta, or the most remote reaches of Alaska and points in the world. So, but anyway, we're sitting in the international terminals here, getting ready to go. We're actually just about ready to start buttoning it up. just waiting on them to finish up with the bags below. Um, we have everything in the cockpit ready to go. So let's get in here and let's talk about today's flight, shall we? With that, we bring up Sim Toolkit. It's free, and it's a really good tool here, folks, for all pilots, not just stream pilots that stream, but all pilots. Gives a lot of good information if you're learning to improve. It'll give you numbers that you can work with, and with X-Plane's rewind or replay feature built in, you can go back and see, well, how did I mess that up? So, without further ado, as you can see, we are sitting here in the boot of Italy. Let's see here. Loadout today, 132 peeps aboard, bringing us up to 27,000, almost 28,000 pounds of payload for 230,120 pounds, zero fuel weight. Once we add in the 29,900 pounds of fuel, ramp weight will be 260,000 pounds. And they may need to see my friends over at HelloFresh. They're sponsoring the stream right now, and for another couple days at least. And if you use the promo code that I'm about to give you here, folks, and you live in the U.S. and you're a new customer to them, hey, they're going to get you 21 free meals and ship it to you for free. So HelloFresh.com, folks. Check them out. But as I was saying, we'll get more into HelloFresh, by the way, in the flight. For now, I just want to kind of introduce them. So, with the 260,000 pound, I mean, we're pretty light, folks. This is 767, 132 people. You almost get your own row in the plane, it seems like. So, it's quite a bit. So, basically, the routing for today it's what I like to call a European routing, and we're in Europe, so it fits. We're going to actually fly out on the XIBRA 5A departure, runway 25, transition on the, as you see up there, SIPA or SIP 6 Alpha to Cipro. Okay, just that's how Europe does things. A lot of your big major airports here in Europe, you'll get a runway, then you'll get your initial departure, and then your transition off of that. It's like in the U.S., we get a departure, and then we get our fix that we transition to. Here, it's yet another route. And I think like the Merit or something like that out of JFK could be barely equivalent. Just the problem is everything's off JFK 5 then, or 6, or whatever number they're at that day. So kind of, I call it kind of weird. You call us kind of weird in Europe, so you get the, part of the problems I have sometimes in flying in Europe. It's just sometimes those little nuances are tough to figure out in the FMCs, McDo's, and whatever you're using to fly your modern aircraft. If you're in the old days, oh man, no, Lord have mercy. All right, folks, I've been up quite a while, so that's why you get a little bit more of a kind of a break in between little talks here, getting some coffee, filling those veins back up with coffee so I can try to wake up. It's been quite a morning. Not a busy morning at the airport per se, just an early morning. Rain started. Things started happening a little earlier than I'd hoped. As you just heard the last word, hoped. So, all right, so with this, folks, this is our pre-flight. Let's go ahead and pull this away. And then let's get into it, shall we? I want to check something here real quick. All right, well. All right, let me, I have not come online, so let me take care of that real quick. And it's not because of controllers, I was just doing other things to get the flight to the point we're at so that we can then depart. All right, so we are going to plan. Okay, and everything else looks good except there, but I've got a little cheat sheet for that. Hang on a second. Then we're going to talk about the livery we have here, folks. I used to see this airline, by the way, has gone defunct. They're no longer around. Um, let's take a look here, see if I can get a good shot of it. All right, North American was a big charter company, big in size of. They did a lot of military charters for the U.S. military. About 2004, 5, 6 time frame, maybe 8, as late as 8. A lot of these companies just couldn't do it anymore, and they went out of business. Loved seeing this plane one, that big American flag on the tail. Loved seeing that. What a to see it up close, folks. It's beautiful airplane to see. Crews loved chatting with them. They were great. They taught us a lot in the firehouse where I work at, and just an all-around great company. Like I said, I'm sad to have seen them leave. We saw them in and out of our airport. Oh my God, probably more than any of them. And they're just always great to talk with. Always great. I don't know what service members had to say about them flying on them, but they just always seemed to be a great crew. So I miss this airline a lot out there. Wish they could have gotten more scheduled service that, who knows, maybe I could fly it here in the US. So, but yeah, North American, I love that. And I was so happy to see that I could get this livery when I bought the Flight Factor. That that helped seal the deal. So, and they also had 757. So I haven't looked to see if if Flight Factor 757s have it. Got a feeling they do, but again, I haven't looked into it, so I don't know for sure. But I just love this aircraft. This and TWA, only because, again, TWA is my hometown here. All right, so reason I'm moving into the position I am is so we can get a good look of what we're about to close up and get ready to go here. When you get to the plane, you just come over here to your plugins and you'll see your EFB there. Now it's also in the cockpit right at the captain's left knee in the bin there. And I'll show it to you here in a second. All right, so we go to ground. Now, when you come in here, in order to get the plane loaded, okay, if you're at a gate, tick off gate config. If you're not, for the passengers, you're going to need the bus and the stairs. Obviously, got to have some way to get the people on the plane. That's what the jetways work for in gate config, or jet bridges, whatever you want to call them. And then in the without the bridge, the stair, and the bus. Got to have the fuel truck to put fuel on, or in our case, we were actually defueled down to our number. Chocks. Now, the LSU has to be there to load the bags. That's these little guys right here. The GPU, only if you want to run on the GPU on the ground and not the APU. ACU, again, nice to have, not required. It just helps cool the air, keep the aircraft cool on the ground. Here, just open a few windows and it'll be nice and cool real quick. All right, now I do see that the HelloFresh thing is in the way. Now, let's talk about down here. So once you have those items set up, come down, put your passengers in, any cargo. Basically what I do, I'll put my passenger count in. When we fly it in the cargo config, it's a little tricky. We'll get more into it there. But here you go, 132. And then I look at my zero fuel weight. If it matches what SimBrief has for me, I don't put in, I just make cargo 0 or leave it whatever it's at. And then set your fuel weight to your departure fuel. Which again, in our case, before I fire up that APU, was 29,931. Okay, once you've done that, what I always do is click maintenance. It'll say, as you see right down here, maintenance has been successfully performed. Then I also optimize the CG. Okay, and then that'll set this into the where it's not red or yellow. And then just simply hit load. Boom, you're done. Like I said, the cargo plane, same way, except it's a little more, it's got a little more of a twist in how I set it up. And I'll get into that whenever we fly it again. Okay, and then once it's, you'll see loading aircraft here. You'll be able to tell it's done. You'll hear the clanging and banging and the people chitter-chattering behind it. That'll cease. Or maybe, there it goes. You'll notice your fuel weight here is at 29 or whatever your number is. It'll be drop the last 3 or last 2 on it. Pretty simple. All right. So like I said, we have the passengers boarded. Maybe. There it goes. All right, so kind of let you see. Okay, so we're done fueling, so off with the fuel truck. Real big, suspenseful animation here, folks. Now, I'm going to move over. Then, before you can load the aircraft, I forgot one major step. Go to the ops and then airplane. Open the loading door, the passenger door, and your 2 co-pilot side cargo doors below. Then the aircraft will load people. The bulk is just that bulk, but you open it if you want. You can see you can set for winglets, you can set for your engine type, all of that right here as well. In our case, we're done loading, so I'm just going to simply do it the easy way, close all. And they close rather quickly. Go back to ground. We can get rid of the LSU. And for now, that's it. And then if I come down to the plane, all you'll see are, it's hard to see them, but yeah, you can see some chocks in front of the nose, the GPU, and the ACU, air conditioning unit. All right, so back into the plane we go. And for now, we can get rid of that. Let me pick up where I was in my checklist. I had just loaded the FMC, folks. And the FMC loads just like any other one out there. You'll come in, you go to the ident page, check that out. Then, position ref, which I've already done. The LIRF, the initialization. Everything's been done, folks. We're ready to roll. Okay. And then here's our takeoff speeds. One more time if you missed them. Okay, moving on now. Let's go ahead and, so once we have the FMC set up, folks, we come up to the overhead. Of course, we're going to have had the battery on and the electrical set up. so we're good to go. So, and we would have moved our outer switch here, not this inner one, the outer one, to heading. That'll give you the time to unload, to align. So I'm moving it back to its normal state with our coordinates. And then start down like a Boeing. Okay, yaw dampers on. EECs show normal. EEC is electric. Here, I'll zoom in. It'll help you out. Electric engine. Wow. Basically, this is your electric engine where it keeps your engines synced, as well as when you throttle up, you can actually throw them to the front, but it'll bring them up in a way that won't damage the engines. Control, that's what it is. May 57 be a better year for your memory. All right, so moving right on down, we'll have the electric pumps only on, the C pumps, and all of our switches to auto. Next row, verify everything's closed up here. Keep coming down. Again, we do an electrical check, make sure everything's right. And next row, we can turn the cargo heats on since the door is closed. PAC's emergency lights are on. Set your engine start to how you want. And the fuel pumps will keep off momentarily as we got position and logo lights. Window heats on. You can, do this, folks, but there's no sound like in the LDS for the older flight sims. So you don't get that annoying. I pity the pilot that had to listen to that across the North Atlantic, God forbid the Pacific. All right, so coming down, we have our different push buttons for different areas in the aircraft and all. Got our seatbelts and no smoking on. Our pressure is set to auto 2. What I do is on even days, I set it to the even number 2, odd days to the odd numbered 1. All right, landing altitude. Istanbul, Turkey. We are looking at an elevation of 94, so hang on. Now, the one thing I like over flight factor over the LDS, the landing elevation is kind of midway between most airports in the world. Granted, there's a whole lot of them above 4,000 feet, but there's the majority below 2,000 feet MS, for your landing elevations. And the fact that it's there just helps you get to those higher elevation airports quicker. It took a while sometimes in LDS to get to Bogota at 8,000. Gosh forbid you go into El Alto and you're at 13,000. So, all right. We got those set. Then we come down here, trim air, recircs on, set your cabin temp selectors to auto. Your cabin temp to auto. Now, I turned my PACs on just for the heck of it. You don't have to on the ground here, folks, but I just do. Then I'll get, we don't have the APU running yet, so we'll leave those off. And we're ready to fire up the APU. I think it's this one. Okay, and, oh. See if we can hear it. You can see the flaps up. I'll be honest, I don't know if it has sounds. I guess it's got a little bit. All right. So let's get back in here and up to the panel. We're on. We're showing run. So let's go ahead, click the generator on, the bleed on, the left, center, right. Okay, just want to make sure, I like to make sure my covers are down so I don't accidentally click on it. Okay, with our isolation valves on, let's go ahead and come off external power. You're going to see it flicker like that. And that's just meaning it's transferring from the ground power hookup over to now internal APU. It'll do it again with each engine. They'll automatically come on. That's what these are for. Note to everyone, do not open these and think that they're not on and click them, because then you're going to have to shut the engines down, perform maintenance, and then go. Make sure this one says on, this one says on, and you'll see off right now because the engines are off. That means it'll do it automatically for you. All right, so we are on internal power. All doors are closed, ground equipment. Now we got the last bit of pieces to move out of here. Okay, so what we have left here, folks, ground power, ACU, which there is no switch for this, and the chocks. And if I pull, you know what, we'll do it here. Only reason I'm doing it here, folks, is just because you can see it easy. All right, so GPU, gone. We're going to keep gate configuration because that's what we're in. ACU, gone. And we're going to go with the chocks for now. I'm going to get rid of those here in a minute. And then we're going to get back in the cockpit and call better pushback for our pushback.
Ground to cockpit, please show me where you want to go. Ground to cockpit, tow is driving up.
Okay, beacon on. Did I go online? I did not. All right, there we go. I'm going to say, why do I feel like I haven't gone online yet? Okay. Now, let me get rid of the chocks.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
And there's where it is right here, folks. So you have this option and this option. Okay, final checks here. We'll go through. Let's go ahead, get the jetway away.
So connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Okay, hang on a second, folks. Okay, now some reason I didn't think it wanted to pull away. Okay, let's go ahead and clear the cautions. Okay, to start the aircraft, folks, like most Boeings, you have to turn off your packs. Get your pressure built up. Ground equipment's clear. Tow vehicles called. ACARS, if you're running with a VA, now is the time to start it, as well as make sure all your fuel pumps are on. All right, and to get this thing moving, all we do, come down here and, one too many. Parking brake off.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
All right, we got a little bit of a pushback, so I'm going to wait. We'll have a 3-minute warm-up once we get the last engine started. Basically what I did, folks, we're going to push back to about here and then angle off down here to fire up, hopefully free of anything so we don't blow anything around with these bigger CF6s. Okay, packs are off. All we have to do, I'll do it this way. I'll start engine 2 first, and then engine 1. We just take it from off to auto, and then one more time to the left to ground. Come back down here. Put this back on engine. We're waiting for it to get to here. Now that looks a little slower. That might have, it might have improved. We'll have to see. I've updated a couple times. I don't know which version of this I am. That went fast, so. Okay. And again, it's just you're basically going to wait for the magenta line here when the fuel line reaches it or is slightly past it, below it, you're good to go. All right, let's go ahead and turn over number 1. And see, that's building way fast still, but again, we're still in the release client.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Okay, parking brake set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
You see the flicker? That was the generator coming on. So the engines are still starting fast, but again, I don't know if I'm up to the latest version or if I need another update. So far so good though. I think I should have had them clean the windows while I was there. Wow, they look kind of horrible. Just thought it was maybe something to do with the sun reflections. All right, we have 2 good starts. Away with them. And we'll watch for them over here.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal will be on the right. We'll see you next time and have a great flight.
And thanks for flying with Mike. Oh, wow. Okay, there's our tow truck. And there he is holding out the pins. Now that we know we're unpinned, we can get out of here. And I'll give him a quick flash of the headlights that we saw it in case he can't see us up here. And we'll finish up our start checks. Okay, left and back up to the top here. All right, so left and right engine on. Anti-ice. We'll go out of here with engine. Left and right engine bleeds to on. Left and right packs now can come back on. APU bleed off. APU itself off, and we can come off the generator. Right. Before taxi, flight director's on. Left and right VORs are set to auto. Oh, I'm sorry. Getting reacclimated. Auto and auto. Yep. Flight director's on. MCP is set. Our V1 is 125. Rotate 132. V2 is 138. And I'll set 148 in the window up here of the box. Heading 247, 39,000. Stab trim. We are looking for 2.5. Okay. All right. And finally, flaps 5. And then EFIS. Okay, we can get rid of that. It is set to 200. Okay. We're good with the distance. We're on map, both of them. And data. Actually, we'll keep data off. Radar. To weather only. And terrain and weather up here are off. Okay, let's switch over to status real quick. Left. Okay, why are my rudders acting up? I know why. Flight sim trick there, folks. When the yaw damper's on, it limits your rudder on the ground. And now we're fine. Then okay, we are ready to taxi. And I think this is a rather long taxi, just to warn you. Got to go all the way to the other end. So let me pop up here. All right, folks, we're on our way out to runway 25. Oh yeah, we got a nice long taxi ahead of us. So folks, it'll be a nice time for you if you want to grab a drink. Take care of whatever business you have. We are on our way out to runway 25. Okay. It's kind of nice to see the AI traffic, ground traffic at least stop for aircraft. Okay, so now we just got to go all the way down to the end. This is our runway right here, folks. All right, folks, we just got the remainder to go. Okay, a little further to go here, so let's start doing our before takeoff check so we can get out here. Speed brakes. Boy, this thing's got a lot of... I guess when you're this light, that's what happens. Let's get this to engine. Auto brakes to reject. Spoilers down, flap set 5. Will be taken off under takeoff condition. And lights on, MCP. LNAV, VNAV set. And transponder squawking. Boy, she's just got some giddy up and go. All right, we'll just pop out here. Folks, we are so light, we're going to have 2,000 feet, according to Top Cat in our departure. We'll go to the far pad, though. I'm assuming we would de-ice here, if that's such a thing in Rome. Just by the way the pad looks. All right, final checks. Okay, we're set there. Traffic-wise, we're good. No, Rome traffic, North American 572, departing 25. right. Do want to verify we are running. We are running. Okay, parking brakes off. Okay, strobes on. Okay, get our lights on. Okay, and we're going to advance. Basically, what I do is send the N1 needle to where it's even with the EGT here, so it's a real easy check if we're even. And then toga. $80 knots.
V1. Rotate. V2.
Don't sink.
10.
Gear up.
Alright, we're going into the autopilot so we can fly out the departure here. And I'll let you be able to see it here. Alright, after take... Yeah, I know. Hang on. He's upset I didn't let him talk.
Ladies and gentlemen, we request your full attention as the flight attendants demonstrate the
There.
safety.
Now you can listen to it while we climb
When
out,
the seatbelt
folks.
sign illuminates, you must
Flaps
fasten
up.
your seatbelt. Insert the metal fittings one into the other. Tighten it by pulling on the loose end of the strap. To release your seatbelt, lift the upper portion of the buckle. We suggest that you keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the flight, as we may experience turbulence. Please take a few moments now to locate your nearest exit. In some cases, your nearest exit may be behind you. If we need to evacuate the aircraft, floor-level lighting will guide you towards the exit. Doors can
Okay,
be opened
now
by
we're headed to
moving the handle
X-Pre.
in the direction of
Then
the
we're
air.
going to do the
Storage
departure for
equipment
the
is
SPO
inflatable slide,
6A
which may
departure out
also
to
be
SIP.
attached and used as a life raft. Oxygen and the air pressure are always being monitored. In the event of a decompression, an oxygen mask will automatically appear in front of you. To start the flow of oxygen, pull the mask towards you. Place it firmly over your nose and mouth. Secure the elastic band behind your head and breathe normally. Although the bag does not inflate, oxygen is flowing into the mask. If you are traveling with a child or someone who requires assistance, secure your mask on first and then assist the other person. Keep your mask on until
Okay,
the crew member advises
and
you to
climb out
remove it.
at
In the event
10,000
of an
feet. We'll
emergency,
turn the lights
please
off.
assume the bracing position. Lean forward with your hands on top of your head and your elbows against your thighs.
And transition, which actually should
Life vests are located in a pouch under your seat
already have
or
happened. I
between the
didn't set that.
armrests.
Dadgummit.
When instructed to do so, open the plastic pouch.
10,000 feet.
Remove the vest
Okay,
and
let's
slip it
go
over
ahead
your
and
head.
get
Pass the straps around your waist and adjust
The
at
lights
the front.
off.
To inflate the vest, pull firmly on the red cord. Only when leaving aircraft. If you need to,
It will
refill
set
the
for
vest.
standard.
Only
Now
to
I'll
the
show you
business.
this
Use the
click
whistle
spot
and
right
light
here,
to
this
attract
screw
attention.
next to speed,
Also,
that's
your
toga.
seatbelt cushion
Now
can be
there's
used
another
as a
one up
flotation
here. It's
device.
this one right
Pull the
here.
cushion from the seat,
Let me
put
set
your
this
arms into
one.
the straps, and hug the cushion to your chest. The following electronic devices: smartphones, CD players, laptop computers.
You
can
click
be used
this,
with the seatbelt sign
because right
on.
now I
Or
believe
quick
we
release
see
by
altitude.
operator.
Yeah, we do.
Mobile
Altitude
telephones,
disagree. And it's
remote
just
control
because this
devices.
one's different than the
Any electronic
co-pilot's.
devices operating
All we
with
do
the
is
antenna
click
must
that,
be
it
turned
goes
off
away,
at
and
all
then we just
times.
have to
We
manually
remind
set
you
this one.
that this is a non-smoking flight. Tampering with, disabling,
Okay, and there
or
you go,
destroying
folks. We're in
the
our
smoke
climb.
detectors installed in the laboratories is prohibited by law. You will find
Now
links to
starting
all the other safety
into the
information in
SIPO
located in the seat pocket information
6
manual.
Alpha
We strongly suggest
departure
you read it before takeoff. If you have any questions,
transition, I
please
should say.
don't hesitate to ask one of our crew members. We wish you all an enjoyable flight. Thank you.
Okay, and now we're just climbing away. So, folks, I hope you enjoyed the departure portion. Now we're turning for our next fix. And what I do is I try to keep up with the heading here, just in the outside case we lose stuff and we need to grab it real quick. All right, so that'll be about at 5 to 6 minutes. Okay. And we're cruise climbing all the way to 39,000. Again, folks, I'd like to thank you very much for being a part of Flying with Mike today. Always my pleasure to be up here in the cockpit, leading us on, and hopefully we'll get to the right place for the landing. Did I say that out loud? So... just getting a couple screens. I was remiss in getting up because I was really tired coming home from today, folks. So we took a nice little nap before this, hence why we're running a little behind and a little kind of hit or miss.
18,000 feet.
Just a little bit on the sleepy side. So now there will be no stream tomorrow. If there is, it'll be a short one, and I do mean short, like potentially up in Alaska with the Kodiak, or somewhere else that's short. Only because things we have coming to our granddaughter's coming over, so I want to be sure I'm here to be able to step in when I need to. And put that over here. There we go. Now I got things set up the way they need to be. Alright, and you may have already seen, I didn't realize I did it, but the LTBA is the airport we're going to in Istanbul. Currently at takeoff, they were right above Cat 1 minimums. We're going to potentially do an auto land with this plane, so we'll get to see how that works. So, but I do want to welcome y'all in, and yes, I do apologize for missing some. I just clicked the wrong one. Sorry. Pop this one out. There we go. For missing things in chat. I'm just going back right now to see what all I missed. Okay. Well, I do want to say welcome aboard, folks. If you like what you're seeing, if you like this aircraft, you fly this aircraft, please be nice in your critique of my flight of it. It has been a good month or two since I've flown it, so be nice. No, I'm just teasing. Let me have it if I'm doing it wrong, folks. It's the only way I learn how to do it right. Very good at crashing? No, not really. We had a couple crashes in December. One with the A319 in X-Plane12 and the new icing model they have in there. Well, yeah, folks, it iced it up big time, and I had everything on. The other was into Fairbanks with the Zebo, and we had trim issues there. Now, it seemed to be me, not the Zebo product causing it. So, and of course, it makes it hard to make a full determination when they've updated it 2 or 3 times since that. So, hard to tell, but we are doing much better in the Zebo, as you've seen in flights since. So, very happy there. So, it does happen occasionally, folks. I really try not to, because I like to get the landing done looking good. Now, I have been dabbling in the F-14 here of late, so I've also flown a few flights now in the Citation 10 and the Airbus 330 that come with X-Plane12. So I will begin to start putting those in the rotation as well. So, but yeah, if you like this stream, folks, if you like what you're seeing, can put up with the loose nut behind the wheel. Hey, we'd love you to smash follow and follow along as we take our adventures onward. I don't have an idea yet what we're doing next week. One, I'm waiting to see what days I'm going to have available. But I think we'll be in the air Monday. And I haven't decided yet how and where I want to fly. If you would like to be in that decision process, head over to our Discord channel. The invite's up on the chat room there, and voice your opinion in the flight sections. What I do ask is if it's a route you'd like me to do, and let me know what plane, and then I'll work my best to get to that type of plane. But we are now coming up to Cipro, I guess is the actual name here, and then we'll be turning out on course. So let's do a couple things. I see I've been remiss here. Put terrain up on this one, weather up on this one. As well as that, we'll go out to 80 on that one. Okay, and I can see the test band is up. Hopefully it clears here. There it goes. And get about 80 on this one as well. I think I will. May get that test band again, folks, as it resets. Oh, good, we did. All right, and then the weather radar is over here on the first officers. Unfortunately, I can't blend the two, and I don't even know if you can in the real plane. So, took off in the rising sun to the east. Yes, that means we set the time here, folks. I like to fly daylight, so when you do this, actually see. Alright, so it looks like we have some ATC to deal with here. We'll see how that goes. If I'm having a hard time understanding, out of respect, I usually go offline. But we'll see how that works out here, folks. And I know for those of you that are over in Europe that follow Flying with Mike, your jaws are dropping. He's back! Yes, I am. I think I should have gone north. Back. Look at all that up there. A lot of ATC up, again, as I call it, prime time. So, it's expected you guys will be online. Just like if it was anywhere from, let's see, 8, 9, 10, 11 o'clock, the U.S. will be lit up. Now, not necessarily on the East Coast, but as you move more to the West Coast, for sure. But it'll shift about. So it's the same here in Europe. You're in your prime time. So, this ought to be fun. Alright, so let's get some music running here, folks, and kind of relax and enjoy the ride. Try to keep it at a bearable level and let you all relax. Alright, if I could just take a few minutes of your time here, folks. Again, talk about my friends at HelloFresh and the fact they're sponsoring the stream for the next couple days. Sunday, I think, will be the last day they're sponsoring us. Folks, if you live in the U.S., if you are new to HelloFresh and haven't subscribed before, you know, you really ought to head over to HelloFresh.com and check out what they have to offer you, folks. They have great menus, great food. It's fresh, from the farm to the doorstep in 7 days. So, folks, that's really fresh food. Not as fresh as if you walked out in the garden and started eating it, but it's pretty fresh. If you go to HelloFresh.com, and as I said, you're a U.S. resident or U.S. customer and new customer 21 free meals and free shipping with that promo code. If your idea of this new year is to eat well, and it's comforting, and you want top quality food, HelloFresh ingredients, like I said, travel from the farm to you in less than 7 days. So that gives you that peace of mind that it is free. You look sometime, I've been in the grocery store here of late, folks, and sometimes I look at that produce area and go, oh my gosh, how long has this been out here? Some of it is, it's just not looking that great, folks. From the farm to you in less than 7 days, so you know you're getting fresh food. And if you want to save money while eating well this year, HelloFresh will help you in that arena as well, because it'll save you money all year round. Instead of going to the grocery store, and if you have kids, you know how those hands go and grab whatever's at their level, and all of a sudden you look in your cart, how to get this full? And then you see the bill, and you go, oh my goodness, get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this. You don't have that problem with HelloFresh. You just sit there, you order your food, they ship it to you from the farm to you, less than 7 days. It's fresh, saved money because you don't have that extra impulse buying that grocery stores feed on. You know how they have that all lined up there at the ticket counters, folks. Ticket counters. Oh, sorry, it just came off work. Cash register. Sorry, I just came off work. And, oh well, it is what it is. So you're not impulsively going, that candy bar really looks good. So you save the money in that way, and then add to it. Say you're one of those that take out food a lot. Order takeout, order in the restaurant. You're going to save close to 25% in your food budget by having it sent to you and you cook the food. Now, I know some of you are going, you don't want to taste my food there, Cap Mike. You learn. Like I did. I learned how to cook, folks. I can do pretty good behind the stove. Oh, yeah, not to say I don't burn water every now and then, but, folks, HelloFresh. It's fresh, folks, ready for you. Let me give you a sampling here. I love doing this to get you guys hungry out there. Here's some recipes you could put in. The food comes to you to be able to create seared steak and potatoes in a Bernice sauce. I'll be honest, I don't even know what a Bernice sauce is, but they sold me in seared steak, folks, and potatoes. Sweet pork and beans, burritos. I'm not a big burrito fan, but I know there's a bunch of you out there that love them. Or, with the weekend coming up here in the U.S., folks, there's football coming. Not a big fan of football, but I know a lot of y'all are. Baby barbecue, baby back ribs. Now, this one you don't have to have at a football game, but it's definitely going to perk your interest. Chocolate chip brownies. So, folks, you can get everything in between all of those two. So, check them out, HelloFresh.com. That promo code in the chat room that hit you twice, that's pretty good. 21 free meals, shipped to you free. U.S. residents and first-time customers will get that deal. HelloFresh.com. Go over there, check them out. Say, Flying with Mike sent me in. There you go. 21 free meals, folks. What a deal. What a deal. All right, so again, check out my friends over there, folks. They're sponsoring us. If you're a U.S. resident and new to HelloFresh, hey, it's a pretty good deal for you. Check them out. And you'll be supporting the stream as well. Alright, so we are on our way. We're pushing down the boot of Italy. Headed towards, we have ATC up in Greece now and Turkey. So we'll see how that lasts as we work our way there. Got a feeling it's going to stay up because a lot of aircraft flying around there now, so that'll be cool. I thought for sure we'd be kind of dead on ATC now that I had to take a nap when I got home. So, and it wasn't intentional, folks. I was just really tired. So, but anyway, we're on our way. Get a nice look at the new 3D clouds here as well with X-Plane12 and Police Plane. They really come. As I say that almost every stream. Unbelievable how the clouds have moved. Now granted, we're not in a thick cloud environment. We will be as we get closer to the Turkey, I think. Looks like the rain may have pushed into the Black Sea, so we'll have to see. This is my better flyby. Aircraft's getting a little crabby up here, folks. Alright, let me get in here. Get you a nice look at the cabin, or the cockpit here. Wish I could... Wait a minute, I think I can. Hang on a second. Let me flip around. Get a little tour here real quick. I mean, obviously they've done a real nice job back here, folks. Excuse me, pardon me. Now I think it is this aircraft that we should be able to walk all the way to the back and then over to the other side. Here's the back galley. Into business class here. Now, one thing I learned back in the day when I was going up on these planes, folks, if you get 767s, it really behooves you get up in them if you're in airport fire and learn these planes, because folks, when the first one I boarded, I asked flight attendant, can I go up and talk to them about how to shut this thing down? I knew they were getting pushed for time. And the pilot came out and met me and said, thank you for coming out and asking, because a couple things I do want to show you. Now, we all know how easy it is to just pull out the TO and go, well, shutdown is here. Pull the T handles, fuel, throttles, batteries, and be done, right? Well, yeah, that's part of it. Where you, let me see if we can, they don't have it on this one. You had what looked like 2 rows. You know, you got 2 rows in the back, one on each side of the fuselage. But it looked like it came up into the cockpit over here. So I thought, hey, that's what that probably is. He goes, no. I'm glad you noticed that. That's where they slept when they were long distance flying. And none of the TOs showed that. It doesn't show on the sim. So, you know, really interesting stuff that I learned about the plane, and a few other nuances. Later flights came in with North American to show me some other things. But you know, folks, get out there, meet those crews, get on those planes, learn them. You're gonna learn some things you never thought about. But that crew rest area, I never knew it was there. But yet, lo and behold, it was right there in the cockpit. There could be 2 more people that you didn't even know were on the plane right there. In that model, where it was right there in the cockpit. Now, it may be different on others. So it really does help to get up there and learn, folks. All right, let me do this real quick. Looks like, folks, we have an hour to our destination. I'm going to go ahead and begin setting up the FMC down here for that arrival. $500 miles to LTBA. Istanbul. At 13.1 fuel, that's cool. We're planning 10.7 minimum, so that's good. Alright, so let's get charts up here. Alright, so you can see the departure we took. Okay, now we're just now coming over bar. You can see we're real close. Pappas is where the glitter. And hang on just a second, please. Sorry about that, folks. The CEO was updating me with some family issues here. Wish the best to my daughter at one of the corporations in St. Louis as they're in lockdown and due to a person that's come in disgruntled with a taser, thankfully just a taser, who knows what else, and just waiting for the all clear. So, wish you the best there. Alright, so we're going to get this loaded up here before Maurice. So what we'll do is go to departure arrival on the FMC here. And I'm going to pull up the arrival Ramo to Quebec. And we're going to basically load this and check it. Alright, so got rid of it. Sorry about that, folks. Alright, so you can see how it works. Maybe. Why is it not playing nice? Oh, I know why it's not playing nice. Alright, so we'll be going from Dramo to Bar P, BA356 to Double, BA357 to BA358, Abnett, Tepu, and that's at 3,000 feet at that point. Now, get the others in a minute, and then Atco starts our arrival to 2,600 feet. Okay, so pretty simple there. For here, what we'll do, let's look for the B. Oh, we're on LIRF. That's why. Let's go to LTB, A, Ramo 2Q, and we're going to do the Zulu Atcos transition. Y'all are going, how do you know that? I looked ahead on SimAware. LTBA's information Fox has the expect ILS Zulu runway 5 transition, and of course I put second, X that out, maybe not going to, okay, always another way. Bear with me a second, we'll go here, oh. Select, add, then that'll put that down there. Okay, so from Atcos, so we've got those loaded, we click execute legs, and no, I'm not queuing up the song legs. Dramo at 19,000. Then we're going to fly that till all the way as you see here. RP, 356, Gubble, 357, 358, Abnett, Tetpu, Weiss, 3,000, Atcos, 2,600 feet. That's where we start the arrival. Okay, currently I think we're marginal to IFR, so we're okay on a Cat 1. I do have, as you can see, Cat 2-3 available. Okay, so Atcos, you can see there. Then we go to distance 8.0. Let's kind of catch up over here. Okay, 633. It's 2,600. That's a hard altitude. One second. Okay. Abnett. Oh, I missed that. And 230. Okay, cool. And speeds on these? No. I missed that. Abnett's 6,000 and 230 on our speed. Okay, but we'll come over Atcos. Okay, our heading or frequency of 110.3. 53 degrees on the heading. 2,600 feet at distance 8 IIST, which is the localizer. Decision altitude height will be 293 or 200 above the ground. If we don't switch into Cat 2, then we'll drop it. There's our missed approach. I'll have it up here long enough for you to read that. Alright, so let's take a look at the rest of this now. Okay, so you can see we come over at coast. We're on the localizer, glide slope at distance 0.8 and straight in. We don't. Page sets us up down the slope speeds. Okay, I'll take those. So you can see it looking down and looking directly at what the glide path would look at. So down, this is how the airplane will be laterally. This is how it will look vertically. Okay, and again, we'll have high ALS approach lights, 2, so a full load of lights to help us get the runway in sight, and then our straight out missed approach. Again, the METAR has to be 293 feet or higher. RVR for our type aircraft is 550, and it's all types. So RVR 550 meters. If we lose the touchdown zone, the clearance lights, 550, so long as we have the equipment that we have on the plane function. Okay, so we have the FMC programmed, and we will, excuse me, clear this out. Alright, and we are going to sneak in that way. Huh. Interesting how we're not going to necessarily be in Greek airspace. Alright, so there you go, folks.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign, and you may now move about the cabin.
Yeah, I set the wing views up outside the aircraft because if I didn't, it would look a lot like this. And I don't think I like the tinting as much as I do just outside the air wing. And over here, same thing. Alright, so let's just kind of relax, enjoy the music. We'll be in Greek airspace here shortly, and we'll continue on. That was my bad. I didn't know. I thought it was set at 2,000 when I looked at it. It's at 7,000. I don't like anything in the sevens. Alright folks, we got 51 minutes till we are in Turkey, and Istanbul to be exact, and looks like some pretty decent weather so far. Just see what we're dealing with. Scattered in 6, 2,500 feet. Yeah, that's not bad, folks. 8 and 7. So yeah, looking forward to it. It should be a pretty decent run. Now they say we're 2 or 3, and everything I'm reading is like 5. So I don't know. I guess maybe the windsock off runway 23 says something a little different. I would love to hear from you who are out there in the chat room. Love to know where you're from. You might be in the region. And importantly, one of my goals is hoping to get you guys to move from watching us here on stream, be it Twitch, be it YouTube, to actually getting into flight sim and doing it yourself. And if you are doing it already, some of you are just auto land. Now I used to, that's all I ever did, and I'll explain why. And it's not because I didn't know how to land. I just think it's so cool to watch the airplane land itself. Now, if I was in the real plane, it would probably first or second time scare the holy crap out of me, because like, is the airplane gonna actually do what it's supposed to? Kind of like if you ever watch the show Ice Road Truck Drivers. I used to drive a truck, and I'm going, yeah, I think I could do that. I don't know about that cracking underneath the truck, though. But, you know, you get used to it. I get it. Yeah. And then I see that 13% grade out in Alaska. That was enough for me to not even think about it anymore. But, so that's what we want to do here, is get you flying. And then if you are, start improving, start shooting these approaches by hand, trimming up the plane, and turning it in and flying it down yourself. Now that I'm not good at. That I do let the ILS go till I can see the runway. I got a lot of practice to do on that still before I try to tackle bringing the airplane in on my own, the clouds. But that all goes back to, I was a private pilot, so I was supposed to be in the clouds, so really didn't get trained in how to do that more than I should be able to now. So we'll, like I say, we try to take over. Now today we took off, and it was Cat 2, Cat 3 approaches going in to Istanbul. Now it's raised, so we'll see how it looks when we get there. Sometimes flying at night does help us that way, that we can see the runway farther away. Then it brings in other obstacles as well. So, but anyway, that's my goal. Get you guys first to just get in there and try it. I don't care if it's a Cessna or a Concorde. Prefer you try it in a Cessna first, because Concorde may overwhelm you. But get your feet wet. Get used to what the plane does when you do this. When you turn the stick this way, how does it react? And get used to it and all, just like you would in the real and then move up to an ILS. Give it a shot. It's the easiest of them all to fly. You get into the RNAV, RNIMs, folks, those can get very tricky to fly. You may or may not have a glide slope. For the ILS, you got it all. It's right there. It tells you. As long as you got the cross. If this is like you see it now. Cross. Boom. You're right dead smack coming down. Just watch your speeds. Keep your speeds at your approach speeds, which we'll get into in a moment here. Alright, I am kind of shocked we're not talking to anyone. Now we'll see what happens at Pinto. KAS, one of those two, we should begin talking to someone. And that Alright, so we're going to come into an 8,400 foot long runway, folks. Now we're going to actually really have to hone in on touching down. We don't have a long runway like we have. It's long, but it's not 10,000 feet or longer. So my goal is still to make it off hopefully before the end of the runway, but if it ends up being the end, so be it. Then we'll taxi back. Mentally plan for it. Now, doesn't mean that's what they'll say I get, if that's how they're divvying them out. Well, to be honest with you folks, I did not look ahead to see how they park here. Wow, I assumed we had jetways and all. We'll have to wait and see what we get when we get there. Huh. Interesting. Looks like at one time they did have a crosswind type runway. They have gotten rid of it. Maybe. I'm just thinking out loud here what I'm looking at here on this chart. Let me show you what I'm looking at. So as you can see, got rid of it. Sorry about that. This right here looks like there may have been a runway at one time out here. I don't know. It just, again, I'm looking at it, thinking out loud. So, really interesting setup here. But we'll be planning to park actually in here, not up here. That's why I'm kind of, it's weird. So we'll see what we got when we get there. And I will still be here, folks, but I'm going to go mute here for a second and see if everything's okay with my daughter with that situation I alluded to earlier. Alright, I'm back, folks. Nope, I didn't hear an update, so my apologies. It looks like we're in Greek airspace. No idea. Athena radar? Okay. and I'm just going to be cutting through the northern part. There's an airport we need to try again at, Thessaloniki Airport here in northern Greece. Just a favorite book of the Bible of me that I like to read a lot and visualize there. Another place I'd like to go is close to where Ephesus was, and of course Athens, Corinth. Hit some of these points here. Maybe one day we'll hop it here and we'll see what happens. So, trying to see if he's going to want me to contact him or not. TBB, that's Istanbul. Okay, that's Turkey radar or something. Ankara control, okay. So let me see where we are in relationship to our... Okay. Got a little ways to go. Athena radar. North American 572 with you. A few miles from Thessalonica. Maybe they're not listening. If I don't get anything this go around. Not sure what's going on here. If I'm not going to get anyone to talk to me, disconnect. Okay, we'll disconnect. Alright, we are closing in. Okay, folks, well, we tried on VATSIM, and VATSIM just did not want to seem to be working, and I was on the right channel. So I don't get what was going on here. 9675. 9675. Yep, 29675 is correct. Well, folks, my apologies. Yeah, they're just not wanting to chit-chat with us. That's fine. And I don't want to... Unless he's really trying to go offline and is doing a piss poor job at it, I don't know. Alright, well, anyway. We're going to proceed in, folks. All right, our estimated descent point. I calculated out. Here, let me zoom in. Where's train mode? Is, oh, I got to redo it. Hang on a second, folks. Is, after ASPIV and before PIB-UP. So we got to be starting down to 19,000. So we will start that here shortly. For those joining in right now, we are currently inbound to Istanbul. We were on VATSIM, but they just were not wanting to talk, which is fine. You know, I get it. It's getting late. Maybe they're trying to go offline. I don't know. They're just, you know, what's going on with them. But yeah, let me kind of keep an eye. I didn't hear anybody on that channel, by the way. You would have thought you did. That was really bizarre, folks. So, yeah, my mic is working. I even texted and I didn't get anything, so. I'll bring it back up and we'll check again. Sometimes it's that loose nut that's behind the wheel that gets it on the wrong frequency. 129.675. 296. Yeah, we're set up right. Well, oh, I didn't want to start that. Alrighty, so we'll just continue as is so we don't get really messed up and somebody. So, but yeah, right now the weather is marginal IFR to VFR close. I mean, we're right there in the margins. It's a far cry better than what we took off at LIRF, low IFR. So welcome aboard. Hope you enjoy the stream and hope you enjoy the flight. And we'll be on the ground here in about 30 minutes or so. Okay, let me try one more thing before I totally give up. There is one trick here. They should have, though, reached out to me. Wait, whoa. I think I am on the wrong frequency now. Nope. 29675. Yeah. Right. Who knows? Alright, here we go, folks. There's our T-bomb. Top of descent should be up here at 54 miles. So, we are going to set 19,000 over here. Okay. Now, a couple of ways you can do the descent here. Now, we're not going to start just yet. You could simply where is it? Click VS, set your VS, start your descent. My more preferred way, see how you got climb, cruise, descent here? Just go to descent, click descent now. So either way works, folks. 62. Yes, coming into Pibum is when we'll do it. And you can see it's marked here in between. So we still got a little ways to go. I'm going to actually put that on progress. What I'm going to do is go over here. We're going to come in flaps. Okay, so I am showing a reference speed of 120. Sorry. Okay, so I am showing also 127, so we'll set that for now. Okay, 110.30. Okay, let me show you where we set this up. Now, how do we set the ILS up? That's a little trickier in this one. But you come down here. You got your VHF radios, your nav radios are up on the eyebrow there. Right here is your ILS radios. There. Okay, so there's your 110.30, and we need 53 over here. I'm going to do a quick update. Those. Ending runway 5. Alright, so currently we have a 350 at 16. 8 degrees, so we're going to definitely have engine ice on. Matt 1997, welcome aboard. Just in time to get ready for the arrival in here. But welcome in. Glad to see you out supporting the stream. We were on VATSIM, but they were not wanting to talk. So I don't know if it's something going on my end or their end, but yeah, they wouldn't even respond via text. So, oh well. Come in offline. I'm not going to play the game. So, all right. So 53. We got an 8,400 foot runway. We're going to run with engine ice. All right. So 27 132. So, okay, so we'll plan about 136 coming down. We have been in the air, folks. Give that about 10 to 15 minutes because I hadn't reset it. So about an hour, call it an hour and a half at the most. So great flight. We are doing great and about for our descent. 20 miles ahead. And we are coming into Istanbul, folks. So this one over here. We are now at about 5 to 10 miles out, folks. I'll start our descent. And we're planning auto brake 3, which will about 6,000 feet. Let's go wet and see what happens. Close enough. Let's do it. Again, what we're going to do, folks, we'll just go to descent. If you're in like the Zebo or an aircraft where it says VNAV and you don't have those three, click VNAV, get to the descent page and look for descent now. You'll get the little familiar glide path here. Sometimes you'll see it up here on some of the Boeings, but this is their letting you know. It's the same as like if you're an Airbus, the green dot that goes up and down here where your altitude is right here. Same thing, folks. We're just trying to keep it right here. The aircraft will be doing that now. Okay, we are starting down. According to this one, we are now 175 miles out of Istanbul. That was really a bummer that we could not use VATSIM. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of X-Pilot. Now, I do know it just updated, so it could be something in that. So, and I do need to check for an update for Flight Factor 7. Let me try something here while we got a few seconds. Again, this is the EFB tablet. You can get it from here or up here. And this is, by the way, for those curious, new in right now, we're in the 767. Very tempted still to get the 57. I just haven't decided. Okay, so we're 1.6.3, and I don't see where's their Discord channel. All right, updates. Is this 777-300? Cool. Okay, yeah, it does look like there has been an update that occurred. Some of these airplanes, I don't know what the heck they are showing. That's 777. Yeah, gonna have to check this out, see what's out there. So yeah, that's interesting stuff here. Right, and folks, if you're interested, you saw the link, but if you missed it, feel free to come over to our Discord channel. I monitor it all the time, and get some great updates. We got some great things going on with some of the followers that have come over to Discord. You get to keep up to date, meet some new folks, learn some things. I learn a lot from you all there. I'll ask questions to real world pilots, which we do have a couple here, folks. And I'm here to tell you, they've helped me out a lot. So head on over to our Discord channel. It looks like, Matt, looking at their Discord channel, not Fearless. Fearless isn't what we're looking for. Let's see, here we go. 1.6.4 came out, they're saying 12/22 of 22, so just before Christmas. So, and the 757 came out same time with an update. So, if you're not up to that, that one's also 2.6.4. Oh, wait, did I say it right? The 67 is 1.6.4. The 757 is 2.6.4. Boy, that's easy enough. And they're pretty much, look like pretty close to the same fixes that happened on both. Yeah, I know this. I used to fly it a lot, and I like that aircraft, the 757. I just, like I said, the only reason I picked the 767 when what's going on with my FMC? Hang on a second here, folks. Oh, drag. Yeah, no, we're good. Clear. The only reason I chose to go with the 67 instead of it, well, nostalgia. I like the plane overall. But it has legs. And yeah, you can queue up ZZ Top. I mean, she has legs. She can go 5,000 miles with 7.6s. I think max is around 3,500, maybe 4, depending on tanks. So that was it. Yes, the 757 is a really cool airplane. It's a problem that it became such a problem for the airlines of late. That's the only bad thing with it. Oh, I know what I need to check. Hang on. Transition 12, does that sound right? No, I think they said 13. Transition level 13, not 12,000. What's 1,000 feet amongst us? The real world a lot, but here we're the only plane in the sky right now. Alright, how we doing on the descent, come to think of it? Do I need to put this thing in? Oh, there it is. Okay, so Dramo is 19,000. I think we're going to make that. And then the next one we worry about is 6,000 at Abnen. And then the 3 and 2,600 right before the start of the ILS. Get back out, because now let's do it from here. Start letting you see these 3D clouds that X-Plane's been working with over the last few times, last updates. Really looking good. And I chose, again, for those new in here, to be outside the aircraft looking at these. The tinting on the windows, it just takes away from a lot of it. So outside the windows, if it's possible, I kind of prefer that. You can see the big GE symbol on the engine. And some of you go, where's the winglets? North American didn't have them. Right, we're starting into the clouds. Okay, so here we go, folks. Okay, Dramo, we are at 19,000. Abnen is right up here. very positive it's not over here. And it's not on my log. I'm going to go ahead and kick on the wing ice. All right, so we're set up. All right, where are we on the checklist? All right, let's go ahead and set for 6,000 and begin our descent. All right, let's get them in their seats. And again, here's the other way to get the EFB out. Unless you screw it up like I did.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we start our descent, please make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position. Make sure your seat belt is securely fastened.
Here, let me show you what I was working with down here to see if I could get center to come up.
Or the overhead. Please turn off all electronic devices until brief. We hope that you found our flight enjoyable.
Huh.
We remind you that cushions and blankets are to be left in your seats. Thank you.
Thought you could get it louder. Glad they got that turned down. Okay, we're coming up on 12,000. So but anyway, as I was saying earlier, I can hear my daughter. I guess they are about to lift the lockdown on the building she was in. They had a person come in brandishing thankfully just a taser, but who knows what else he or she could have on them, and put the building on lockdown. So sounds like they may be out and moving, so good to hear that. And the individual is in custody, so yeah, fun day. Prayers go out to all of those at the business there. Hope they hope nobody got hurt in the incident. And we can all say, well, at least it's just a taser. Yeah, but you know what? It's a taser still, nonetheless. Put it to the right person, it could trigger a heart attack. So Okay, the nice thing is I am still using this. I'm going to go ahead and update it just to see if they've updated. QNH is 1018. Okay, so I'm going to have to zoom in for that. 1018. Okay. Now, again, for those who are not familiar with the Flight Factor products, you have to update this one manually, but you can do the one over on the first officer side because you've got a message now. Altitude disagrees with this one. This set screw will send it over to it, and if we zoom over, 1018. All right, and 6,000. We're going to reach it, it looks like, beforehand, so I may take over and ease it out. We'll see, though. It's only about 10 miles off. Okay, it's like jog to the left here, and then we're headed for Abden. But again, I hope you've all enjoyed. We're coming up on 10,000 feet. Which means I need spoilers. Okay, and let's get the lights back on. Alright, now we can pull the spoilers off. Okay, and we'll start our descent to Abden, which looks good for 6,000. We're inbound, folks. Again, don't forget my friends over at HelloFresh.com, folks. You saw the promo code come up. That's for U.S. customers who are new to HelloFresh. New subscribers in the U.S. Use that promo code at HelloFresh.com. 21 free meals will be shipped to your house for free. Check them out at HelloFresh.com. It's like a big bubble of rain to the east of the airport right now. So we'll see how that translates out. Gives us an idea of what VTAR they're using, because I don't think it's right up to date. So hang on just a second, folks. As we come into Abden, I'm going to get an update on my daughter. Stand by. All right, folks. Well, at least my daughter's safe. Been sent home from work. Some things I don't agree with going on in the building, but again, don't, like I told my wife, I don't know the rules. Don't know what the manual says. But lady is in custody. She brandished a taser, had a knife and pepper spray. Um, so who knows what'll all come from it. But yeah, fun day for my daughter. As for us, we're coming into Abden. We are leveling at 6,000, right on target. Or we'll begin to descend to 3,000. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and set it for 2,600. Uh, and we'll go for there. We're 3 miles. Yeah, I mean, thankfully, just a taser and nothing more sinister. But tasers, like I said, at the wrong person can be just as deadly as anything else. But thanks, Matt, 1997. Yeah, you know, it is the world we are in. Okay, here we go, down we go. 2,600. Let's take a look and see these clouds real quick. Into that rain. All right, next one is 230. Ooh, I gotta be slowed. Okay, so Wisney at 3,000, Atkas at 2,600, and then we'll be hopefully lined up on the ILS coming in. Checking it. Have a few seconds. Alright, we didn't change anything, so we're not going to worry about it, so here we go. And kick on laser for now. Okay, we are coming in. Let's go approach. Slow. Out over the med here. Looking good. Right. Just slow it off. Time to make it slow. Okay, gears coming down.
Gear down.
$2,500.
Okay, here we go, folks. Okay, on final ILS MCP approach set. Landing gears down, flaps. Go ahead, slow us towards 50 for okay. Well, good thing is I'm seeing the coastline.
$1,000. $500.
Hey, flaps are full, planes.
$400. $300.
Glide slow. Glide slow.
Minimums.
Glide
200.
slow.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Yeah, we went a little longer than planned, but we still got off before the end of the runway. So, welcome to Turkey, folks. Overcast 500. No, we're a little behind that. Visibility still unrestricted, 350. Yeah, I'll give it that. We had a pretty good crosswind. But welcome to Turkey. Crazy grades. Whoa, did you see that? Wow. Wow. That'll be fun in replay, folks. Holy mackerel, that'll be fun. All right, well, this doesn't show up on my parking chart, so they must not use this airport that much anymore. All right, let's get the spoilers up. Radar off. Rain off. All right, let me get a map up here so I know where the heck guys are going. Yeah, none of this shows here, folks, on the map. So, kind of interesting. Get that parking map back up. All right, and for us, we will be planning a little further down. All right, so landing, first APs disengaged, flight directors we need to turn on. Okay. Flaps up. Right. Yep. Sorry, folks, let her get out of the way a little bit. And brakes are set, speed brakes are up. Let's get that AP firing. Take the next one. And you know what? I am going to do an outside. Since we are a charter, more than likely they put us out here anyway. But yeah, they don't have those jetways shown. I'll show you the map here in a second. Okay, brakes are set. And I am going to go ahead and turn off wipers. Sure we're running. It's like... I didn't click it all the way over. Okay, folks, that was good thunder. First time I think I've heard thunder in here. So that was cool. All right, so taxi in, flaps, transponder. Since we're not on the line anyway, we get to turn it on to standby. Next up, we're just waiting on the APU, folks. All right, and lead on. Should see him flicker here in a second as the APU takes over. I think it did already. There it went. Alrighty. What's the next flight? I don't think there will be, because I think we have some chores to do. Tomorrow's flight, there isn't one due to the granddaughter here, but if I do get time, I'll try to sneak one in. But don't hold me to it. But let's we'll stand by. We'll do some thinking, see what kind of time we're working with. Who knows? All right. So with the aircraft shut down, real quickly here, selectors off, fuel controls are off, fuel pumps. Get up here and get those. Okay, and all right, so let's pull up the EFB. Well, again, I try to change it up every now and then so y'all see where it is. Ground. So we need the chocks. Go ahead and put the GPU and the ACU on it. Now, we are not in a gate, so we'll turn that off. So we are going to need the staircase. Get these going. Okay, we'll come back, get the LSU up. And the bus. Pretty good storm. Boy, did you all see that when I came off the runway, that lightning strike right next to us? That was, I hope I can catch that. What a shot. I don't know if we will be able to. I may have to grab it some other way. But that was spectacular. Alright, so there you go. So this is when you're not... Granted, we have the gates behind us. We could have gone there. But if you're outside a gate, you got to have the staircase, the bus, and the LSUs hooked up. And if you need fuel, the fuel truck, obviously. All right, so we are going to, for now, just go ahead and rebutton the aircraft back up. Close all. Ground. Reason I'm doing this is I hope to be able to replay the flight. But first, let's get Mac Air taken care of. Stop flight. High rep's ready. High rep okay. 317 feet a minute. Folks, that's a good landing. File high rep. And before I move off here too much, I like to go over to the profile in Mac Air and make sure it's there. LIRF to LTBA. Perfect. Let's close. All right. So now we get to do the fun part here. Let's take a look at this. Toolkit. Okay, first thing we got to do, 283 feet by them. Let's finish. So, from your flight. Any of these flights we can go back at, folks, and look at. We're going to look at our last one. View the details. Again, view the full report. What this is going to show is a couple of big things. One, where we touched down. That's the big thing I learned from this. And then the numerical data that's out there. All right, as we always like to say, just for those new to aviation, from where that blue dot is here, this line right here, forward down the runway, that's where you're supposed to land in the real world. I don't care what you do on the sim, folks, but if you're flying it real, that's where you start. In reality, you aim for this nice big target on the runway, these big pads, approximately 1,000 to 1,500 feet down the runway. And each of these marks, starting from here, are 500 feet apart. Kind of think of them as someone once told me, like a golfer. If you like to golf, and I know a lot of people out there like to golf, occasionally, but you know, down the fairways there are trees and bushes at certain locations to give you an idea how far away from the pin are you. Conversely, these are pretty much the same way. How far from the end of the runway are you? This is approximately 3,000 or so feet down the runway. So this is what's called the landing zone, from these hash marks to this blue dot, this line. So we try to land it inside there, but our true goal is to try to nail the big white pads. Okay. This is what's called a displace threshold. Now you can take off. You'll come down all the way here and take off in it. This is a blast pad. You should never even taxi, touchdown, land, take off, anything in this section with the chevrons. But where you see these white arrows, that's for takeoff only. Or if you're landing the other way, you can use it to taxi off if you can't make this one. So looking at us, we're almost 1,700 feet down the runway. That's not bad, folks. There's the aiming point, so we're pretty close. We'll see if we get the replay. It's in beta, so sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. We'll have to wait and see. 11 feet off the center line, almost 12 feet. That can be problematic, but most runways you're okay with that. The other thing to be concerned with, like I said, this is the approximately 3,000 down the runway. So that means you got about 5,000 left to here, which in this case you have an interstate and buildings out here. So it also tells you how far, and mentally, if you do the math, you know how far. But if you start seeing these marks at high speed, you're in trouble. You better get on them binders pretty hard. Now that's funny. Looking at this map here, folks, you see the jetways. But if let me finish this up, and I'll show you what I got on my parking. This parking usually shows those. Unless that loose nut behind the wheel can't figure out what he's reading for, what chart to pull up. Alright, so we got that. We're 12 feet off. Here's the other numbers that are always good. We were 54 degrees when we should have been 53, so there's a little bit of the problem. Way fast. And I do know that. I was fast. So that's why this helped get this number a little higher than it should have been. This one a little tougher on them, but overall still a good landing. Alright, let me pull up charts and show you. This is what I had for a parking chart. See, there's no gates over here. It's all over here. I don't get that. You see, maybe like I said, it's that loose nut again causing troubles. They're not showing. I guess they just don't, they're not worried about them. I guess that's fine. But anyway, we're like right down in here somewhere. Yeah, you don't see what I mean? You don't see any of that. I mean, they stretched all the way out here. We came off right here. No, right here. So we were on Echo 7. All right, so enough chitty chatty. Let's go see if we can't rewind this flight. Now, folks, when this is in full general release and we're not doing betas, you can go all the way back to the beginning of the flight and watch it there. You can watch it somewhere in the cruise. You can watch it anywhere. Don't have to start it. It starts with the sim. So, big difference between X-Plane and Musbus. You have to have a download. You have to start it, and wherever you want to begin your recorded from there. Now, I don't know if it can go from the beginning to the end. Don't have Musbus. But anyway, that's the big deal. Now, whether you pay for it or it's free, again, I know Microsoft loves to make you pay for everything, but I don't know if they do here, so I'm staying out of that one. All right, so we're going to go up here. If everything's working right, boom. Going to start pulling us back. All right, we'll start from here. The only thing that doesn't replay, folks, is the weather. So we probably will not be able to see that lightning strike. That was so cool. There's those big pads right there. Yeah, we were a little further down than what they showed. You can see that one to the right of the center line. Nice landing. Stable approach. Low on the approach, it looks there. I should have probably been a little higher because I think I pop up a little to come in. Really, not much to complain about. Good, folks. Going back out again. Let's take a look at some of those window seats. Let's start over here. That's a really good landing there. All right, so let's go back one more time. We'll see how it looked on the other side. pretty good, but you can see that I was off the center. I'm going to try the tower view and see if that looks any better. Definitely tell we're coming in hot. Well, folks, that was a great landing as we roll out and see what we see. Let's do one more from Alright, folks, well, let's call that a wrap. And I want to say thank you for being a part of Flying with Mike. Thanks for coming out, supporting the stream. Don't forget my friends over at HelloFresh.com. Would love for you to be a new subscriber to them if you're here in the U.S. Again, alright, if you use that promo code at HelloFresh.com, you'll get 21 premiums. Unfortunately, Matt, yeah, it will be the end. We got a lot going on here with our granddaughter coming tomorrow, and we're going to not be pushy here with time. So if I get time later tonight, I'll try and come back up, but I'm not guaranteeing it. And we don't get to see that lightning. Well, folks, you all have a great day. We'll see you maybe tomorrow. If not, it'll be Monday. So y'all have a great day. God bless you all, and we'll see you for sure Monday. Good night.